bring Dan back into the situation here. Dan, let's move on to some other stuff we want to talk about. Let's move into your territory, and that is the box office.
Oh, it's going to be the rest of my day today. Yep. As soon as we're done here, we jump into that.
Let's get into it here. All right. Let me read this real quick, Dan, and then we'll get your thoughts on this. Between the net, let's see here. Demons are hot at the global box office. Between that Netflix K-pop girl band last month, Etta Lorraine Warren, and a famed anime franchise's eventful ending, it seems Demon and their Hunter Slayer's exercises are hot business. Crunchyroll's Demon Slayer, I'm not going to try to say that, is coming in on the highest end of expectations domestically. The title made over $21 million on Saturday and now seems set for a massive $70 million opening weekend. The title also hit a bunch of international markets this weekend, pulling in an additional $62.1 million, bringing it up to a global weekend haul of $132 million. To date, worldwide, the title is up to $386.2 million, which are astonishing numbers for what is an R-rated 155-minute film. The Conjuring Last Rites dropped 69% domestically with $26.1 million, but still up to $131 million. Internationally, though, the film, sorry, y'all, is still powering through with an additional $60.5 million, and globally hit a very strong $332.9 million. Downton Abbey, which I will be seeing this afternoon, the grand finale, came in third domestically with $18.1 million, which is shocking to me that it even got that much, with a further $12.3 million from international markets, bringing its worldwide total to $30.4 million. And rounding out the top five domestically, sadly, was The Long Walk with $11.5 million, and the Toy Story re-release, which got $3.5 million. So, Dan, a lot of interesting numbers there in the box office. What stands out to you? What surprised you, or what do you take from all of this?
I was just looking at the latest numbers. The estimate's now 70.6 for Demon Slayer. So a lot of times when you see them revise that estimate up, that means it might even come in a little bit higher today. We'll see what it looks like. Anime does tend to be front loaded, so we'll see what the final number is. I mean, I'm a Demon Slayer fan. I was part of that group. I went and saw it this past weekend. I think the first thing, this doesn't surprise me that much.
Okay.
Last week, The Conjuring absolutely shocked me.
Yeah.
With what it did. And I think that, the big picture thing that I'm looking at is, even I was saying after as we wrapped up summer movie season, I said, well, man, the box office is just going to be trying to tread water till we get to holidays, because it doesn't look like there's anything that's going to really, and now we've had two really good weekends in a row. I'm not shocked that Conjuring dropped the way that it did. That's what I call a horror movie drop. Horror, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, especially a movie like Conjuring, which is, not necessarily enthusiastically received by audiences. Yeah. It's just that people rush in because they want to go on the ride. It doesn't shock me that it dropped that much. But Demon Slayer, the $70.6 million, that's great. And it's great for the box office. It's great for Crunchyroll. I think that we're just going to see that, unless people lose interest over the next few years, I think we're just going to see that build, because we got two more in the Infinity Castle series as we wrap up the anime. So it's great for the box office, and I'm happy to see it's doing well. An anime movie opening to $70.6 million. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh man, I'm so glad to finally talk to you guys about Cash App. I've been using Cash App forever, and now I get to talk to you guys about it. Don't worry, it's very easy, fast to sign up. Do you even know how much interest your money is earning you in your bank account right now? Well, let me tell you some stuff. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases, you can earn up to 4% annual interest on your savings. There's no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements. Also, you can hit your saving goals even faster by turning on the Roundups feature on your Cash App card with Roundups. Every purchase you make using the card is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and that spare change is automatically put into your savings. Don't let your money sit around and gather dust. Make it work for you. Take advantage of high interest savings on Cash App today. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code and earn some additional cash. For real, just download the Cash App, use our exclusive referral code, Christian, in your profile, send $5 to a friend. Within 14 days, you're going to get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partner. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure.
Well, I mean, Netflix came out a few weeks ago. I'm sure you saw it, Dan. The comments. I don't know if it was Sarandis or someone below Sarandis who said that anime constitutes like 50% of their views monthly or yearly on the streaming service, and so it is building and getting stronger in its influence and in its crossing over as we become more of a global entertainment audience. We have access to more stuff. I mean, I grew up in a time in the 80s and 90s where you didn't anime was like something you had to find in a brown paper bag because some sweaty nerdy dude recorded it off some situation or went to Japan with his parents. Or you had to pay like hundreds of dollars for the imported VHSs that would come, and they wouldn't even come with English subtitles. So, I mean, I remember those days. So to see how anime has progressed, and you look at Akira, you look at Ghost in the Shell, the kind of laying the groundwork back in those days to what we have now, which is a global brand like this, where people have easy access to these shows and easy access to these movies. So it's no surprise that it's growing. And people talk about where are the younger generation putting their money? What are they watching? What are they into? And it's clear that anime is a big, big deal with younger people. And of course, there are still older people watching, but really the young audience that's into it. And here's some more information behind this thing with Demon Slayer. It's the 6th biggest opening of September ever. In addition, the best ever for an anime movie. And it's the best for Sony Pictures over the last 2 years. It's the best opening for Sony. And to add to what you were saying, Dan, there was a per Screen Engine ComScore's post track, which I don't know how much credit you put into that, but there was very little walk-up business at 33%, with 67% of the audience buying tickets in advance. This is something you were alluding to, I think. Sources tell this writer here at Deadline, that is Anthony D'Alessandro, of course, Anthony. Sources tell me that the audience did expand beyond the core yesterday, evident in its great word of mouth and a 98% audience score. Not to mention, the movie didn't just play in NYC and LA, core box office epicenters, but the outlier markets as well. Regal Irvine in the OC, still the top grossing venue in the country with 167,000 for those screenings. So pretty incredible stuff. And it was the 55. It was pretty split evenly between the subtitle and the original Japanese one, the English audio rather. And so fascinating stuff here, Dan, when you look at the power of this particular film.
Yeah, I saw it dubbed. That's how I watched it initially on Netflix. There seems to be, that was initially a subject of great ridicule for me, watching dub, but it seems like that's kind of going away even among anime fans. Part of it is because I think that the dub cast for the show is very good. I have watched shows dubbed before and switched back to Japanese. I just like, if the dub cast is good, I like to watch it dubbed the first time because I can enjoy the visuals and I'm not going back and forth and reading, and also especially a show like Demon Slayer, which is so beautifully animated. The pre-sale thing doesn't shock me because you had to. They were selling out. You had to buy your tickets ahead of time because the screenings were all selling out. So that just speaks to the popularity of the movie. And I think that next weekend's going to be very interesting because traditionally when we look at anime, and a lot of it is much smaller openings and much more niche shows, but it's not unusual for an anime movie to fall 70-80% in week number 2 because the demand just gets burned out all in the first week. So I'm going to be very curious to see what it does in weekend number 2 because I think that's going to speak a lot to how much has it expanded its base, or did it turn everybody out the first weekend and you're not bringing in people in weekend number 2. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch.
It's a 2.5 hour movie too. Like it's not like a quick hour and 40. Like it's pretty amazing.
It's long.
How it was. I was able to get that kind of a situation here. And when you talk about the dub cast, I think I saw a video on YouTube about a minute long where they were highlighting the numerous voiceover actors who are part of it. And Channing Tatum is one of the voiceover actors that's a part of this. Abby Trott is a very well-known voiceover actress, is a part of this as well. And so Rebecca Wong, there's quite a lot of good English voiceover actors who come in to dub the dub Japanese language and do the subtitles. So I think it's great, so. Now, what about the other movies? I mean, Long Walk, 11.5. Were you surprised by that? Downton Abbey doing 18 million domestically. Were you considering it's the last one of all that's still going, this franchise? Are you surprised by any of the other numbers in the box?
I mean, I think that's all good news.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Long Walk, it's a Stephen King adaptation, but it's not tied to it's not like, Carrie or Cujo or one of his more well-known books. So the fact that you can get people out to see The Long Walk, not really horror forward necessarily, more of this just sort of suspense. That was on my list this weekend. I was all over the place this weekend. I was in and out of town. So that's on I want to see that movie very much. Yeah. And to get $18.1 million for Downton Abbey, I mean, that's an older audience.
Yeah.
Usually very reticent to, you don't often see big opening weekends, first weekends. A lot of times it's a bit of a slower burn. So to get 18.1 million out, I think the finale element probably played a lot into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I look up and down, top to bottom pretty much. I mean, Spinal Tap 2 is really the only one that I look at and I'm like, well, that would have been nice if it had done better, because it really didn't do well at all. Yeah. And it wasn't a terrible movie, but that's also, it's not a huge distributor. It's Bleecker Street.
Right.
That's unfortunately, Bleecker Street puts out some good movies, but a lot of times if I'm covering Sundance or something and I see that it got just acquired by Bleecker Street, I'll just say like, oh, well, you probably won't get a chance to see it near you, but look for it on streaming, because they're just not up there with the other big leagues. I was surprised that Spinal Tap 2 was with a distributor that small. But
you talk about amended numbers. I'm just looking now as I'm catching up on all this stuff. It looks like Downton Abbey was actually 19.5 in it, and which is pretty amazing. And it's higher than the previous title, which was The New Era, I guess, which opened at 16. So
interesting.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the idea of it being the last one and what have you. So I understand that energy, wanting to see it, because that's the way I watched that series from the beginning. I do have a soft spot for period British pieces. It's my thing, and so seeing this kind of like Sanditon and all these other ones that I've seen. So I'm excited to see it this afternoon. But like you, I was caught up with all kinds of stuff. I'd seen Long Walk already. I'm not going to go see Demon Slayer until I catch up on it, because I was talking to a few anime fans that follow me, and they were like, "Oh no, you have to have seen this other stuff yet to really get."
There's no previously on. There's no conversation where somebody talks to somebody else to fill in anybody in the theater who might not know who this. No, there are characters introduced who have never been introduced before, and you just got to figure it out. And I mean, that's for fans of the show. I was playing a game with myself watching it, because I did a refresher.
Yeah.
To remind myself, because it's been about a year since the last season aired. And even given that, I was sitting there going like, okay, wait a minute now. Is this a new character, or do I just not remember who they are? Because they'll treat new characters like they're people that you know, and you just got to catch up, because the structure of the show is a lot of times is fight or action, resolution, and then they'll go back and tell you who this person is. Or they'll fill in the backstory. So it's already sort of, you're catching up if you know everything.
Right.
And if you don't know, I mean, enjoy the animation. The animation's great, but there's no hand holding.
Let alone they should hand out study guides for people to have before the movie starts. They can watch it during or they read it during the commercials. There's 20.
There you go.
I'm going to cheat and ask you one last question. What's your feeling for this weekend's box office? Him is opening. Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey is opening. The Michael Chiklis, the Senior, which might get a little bit of attention from the older audience and from the religious audience there. I think those are the name ones that are opening this weekend. What are your thoughts on where do you think it's going to go with those? I mean, I haven't seen much for Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Him, I think, has gotten a lot of publicity and press, being Jordan Peele and what have you. So what do you anticipate here?
I haven't. I mean, if you watch charts, I don't put a whole lot of stock in tracking, but I haven't even seen the tracking for him. I've just got a feeling about it.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that it could break out.
Okay.
The reviews aren't out yet.
Not yet.
I think they hit tomorrow.
Yeah, they're screening.
I decided not to make the trip to do the screening, so I'm going to have my reviews going to be out when it hits. But I've just had it for a while now. I've just had a feeling about him. I don't know. It could be wrong, but it seems like the kind of movie that could surprise some people.
Yeah.
Especially if it's good. If the reviews are great, I could really see it being maybe we make it 3 in a row with a great, really solid number one.
I mean, it's smart to drop it right in the middle of college football and NFL season. So people are already in that mindset. And you add Jordan Peele's name to the whole production, that just gets people interested to see what it's going to be, because it looks like a very unusual film. So I'm curious to see how people respond to it. I don't anticipate Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey doing much at the box office, because there hasn't been much talk about that movie. But you do have Margot Robbie, you do have Colin Farrell, of course. with the Penguin and Barbie, but I don't know necessarily how much that's going to do. But I agree with you. I think him's gonna do well at the box office. And right now I'm looking at some of the tracking here, and as you say, you don't put a lot of stock in it, but some of the 6-week box office tracking and forecasts here: him 20 to 30 million, and Big Bold Beautiful Journey 13 to 18. Those are domestic numbers. We'll see if they match that, or
that
blow
seems
past.
a little low on, maybe a little low on him, and maybe a
Yeah.
little high on Big Bold Beautiful Journey. But the box office has been doing crazy things lately.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict. It's getting harder to predict, and I think it's because there's some, I don't know, we're still finding the new normal. What's the new normal? What should our expectations even be?
Right.
It's still hard to figure that out, and it's 2025, but it's you know, it's crazy.
I've been told that 800 million is the new billion, and I need to I need to stop adjusting my. I need to accept that, and so all right.
I don't think that that's necessarily an irrational point of view. Honestly, I don't.
All right. Well, let's move on to some other stuff here, Dan.